Today, when we invite people to church, they automatically assume you're supposed to come looking like this, dressed up. But underneath all of this, I'm suffering from major depression and anxiety. The church sees you like this, when in actuality, God sees you
like this, broken, hurt, and alone. Today in Pastor Johnson's message, he talks about the blood being equal opportunity.
So no matter if you're suffering from guilt,
anxiety,
addiction,
depression,
the blood has already covered that.
Here at the Bread House, we invite you to come as you are and stay as you grow.
So please stay tuned for a powerful message from our pastor here, Micah D. Johnson. Bye.
There is a word from the Lord tucked away in the book of Leviticus, chapter 17, verse 11. And then I want you to go over where we're going to do most of our preaching from, to Romans chapter 5, verse 8 through 12. We're going to have Bible study this morning. Is that right? So keep your Bibles open. We're going to be bouncing all around different scriptures today. Now, I don't mean I don't know what I'm doing. I just got one topic that's going to be covered around a number of scriptures. But say amen when you found it. Amen. All right, Leviticus chapter 17, verse 11 reads like this. For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you upon the altar to make an atonement for your souls. For it is the blood that maketh an atonement for the soul. Now go over to Romans in the New Testament, chapter 5, verse 8 through 12. Y'all got it? Amen. All right. And it reads like this. But God commendeth his love toward us, in that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. Much more then, being now justified by his blood, we shall be saved from wrath through him. For if when we were enemies, we were reconciled to God by the death of his Son, much more being reconciled, we shall be saved by his life. And not only so, but we also joy in God through our Lord Jesus Christ, but whom we have now received the atonement. Wherefore, as by one man sin entered into the world, and death by sin, and so death passed upon all men, for that all have sinned. For all have sinned. Y'all see that, right? It's in your Bible too. For all have sinned. Not y'all, not some, not most. All have sinned. Verse 9 says, now justified by his blood. We are now justified by his blood. I want you to look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, whatever you did, the blood already covered that. Dino, I was at the barbershop the other day, and gentleman walks up to me and he says, Pastor, I want to come see you. I want to come visit your church. Been getting my hair cut by the same guy for the last almost 20 years, and this guy has been using the same barber for the last 10 years, and he says, Dino, he says to me, I want to come to your church. I want to come visit church. I said, well, man, come on. We've been waiting on you, man. Come on. And he said, Pastor, I know I've been telling you I was coming, but I ain't made it yet. I said, man, what's going on? Why you ain't made it? Dino, he told me, he said, man, I got to get myself together before I come. And that really messed me up. It affected me in a way that it caused me to question him, because he actually thought he needed to clean himself up before he could come to God's house. And I went further to wonder, what is it about the church that made him feel he had to clean himself up to get to church? This young man felt like he had to be something, become something, appear to be something just to get in God's house. He thought that he had to meet certain qualifications. He thought he had to fall under a certain classification, and he thought he had to meet a certain dress code. And I wondered, I said, man, this disturbed me. I said, man, listen, our motto is come as you are, stay as you grow. And I told him, I said, man, I don't care what you need to do, just get there. I wondered why. I said, man, what is it about? What are you worried about? He said, man, I ain't living right and I ain't got myself together. And I said, well, Doc, if you could fix it, then you don't need God. If you could clean yourself, then you don't need God. But it was this ungodly guilt, a guilt. Your guilt, your conviction will drive you to his presence. But your guilt is ungodly when it drives you from his presence. And usually, a lot of times, the enemy will make us think we gotta qualify to be in church. But the club will take you as you are. The streets will take you as you are. But the devil will make you think that they don't want you down there because you ain't right and you ain't got this together and you don't have that together. The enemy gives you this ungodly guilt, causing others, and just like this man I met, to run from the only place that can help you. Isn't it amazing how we try to run from the only place that can help us? Because folk make us feel like they have to qualify. And I was bothered by this because I had to ask myself, what has the church done to make people feel they are not welcomed at church? Ooh, look at how y'all looking at me today. I thought that his perspective was based upon his guilt. But after further discussions with him, brother, I heard him say, the last time I came to church, they told me I couldn't come back until I fixed this. Man, that disturbed me, that got up under my skin. It almost brought tears to my eyes because this is the only place that can fix the broken lives, change the broken hearted, change a bad mind, bring deliverance from places, fix broken places. And I thought that if the church is running off people that are broken, there's something drastically wrong with the church. The devil is a lie, deceiver too. This will not be a house propped up on fancy suits and First Sunday attire and Baptist rules and church bylaws. Man, whosoever will, let it up. Because if you think about it, when you got evil, you wasn't right either. And I was bothered about this because what this man does is what we found out is that he was how do you say it? He was looking at the church and who they are and who they appear to be and not who they are. See, we come to church robed up. And we look, we got our robes on, and we got our First Sunday attire on, and we look, and we don't even know how intimidating we look to somebody that don't even know Jesus. But I thought today that I would actually preach today on the first Sunday and take off this stuff that makes people feel like they can't come. We gotta learn to stop looking the part and start being the part. And I want you to understand is who we look like right now is not who we really are. Your Sunday best. Your Sunday best does not reflect your real talk words. And I want somebody here to understand who's not as holy as the rest of us. Who is not as saved and sanctified as the officers of the church. But I want somebody that walked in this building today trying to figure out how they fit in to a sanctified place. Let me remind you, these suits you see from the pulpit to the pew, the robes you see from the pew, they are nothing but cover-ups. Covering up the fact that all of that have this commercial. Mama, they got this commercial. I'm feeling lovely. Maybe I almost changed my insurance. This commercial, they would give all these different scenarios where, just crazy scenarios. And the person, the client would say, am I covered? And they would come up off stage and say, yep, you covered. And then they would give another situation that says, and he said, somehow, am I covered? Yep, yep. And I want to tell you that no matter what you did, you covered. Opportunity blood. It can cover lesbians, homosexuals, drug addicts, adulterers, thieves, liars, and if I ain't called those stuff out, it covered that too. Church folk, get on my legs. When they don't welcome folk in the church, because they don't look like you, and they ain't got church lines like you, they don't got church lingo like you. But just because you know your lines does not mean you know the Lord. Knowing bylaws does not mean you know the Bible. What I need you to understand is that we must be a place that looks like this. Truth of the matter is, this is who I really am. Up under all the stuff I try to show you, up under my anointing, up under my calling, up under my title as pastor, at the end of the day, this is who I am. This is who I am. And if you be honest, up under your uniform, that's who you are too. Used to do. I don't do that no more, but there is still some stuff you feel. But the good news is the blood already covers that. So in our text today, Paul writes to this Roman church, man. I'm coming down. I just want to hang out with my church today. And I write I'm still saved and I'm still a pastor, but I just want to have fun with my church today. Is that all right? So scrap in this text today, Paul writes to the Roman church concerning the cornerstone of all Christianity. His thematic thrust is salvation through the blood of Jesus. Too often we come to church looking for some deep theological message, pastor to wow us and show us some deep, fresh revelation, and we want the pastor to expound on the word with profound profundity and exegete and eisegete the text, and I ain't got that for you today. I got something. I'm going to take us back to the fundamentals of our faith. The fact that Jesus died, he got up, and because of that, you come. I don't call TV tapes for somebody, but I brought a fundamental word for you today, because sometimes you just got to get back to the basics. Paul explains how this salvation thing happens. He gets us in verse 8 and he says, but God commanded his love. When I'm reading that, I was all right when I heard God say he loved us. But when he said he commanded it, that implies he had to tell his love what to do. Which also further implies that if he had not commanded his love to do this, then it would not have done it on his own. See, there are some folk you love automatically. And then there are some folk you gotta make yourself. Come on. Look at how y'all look at me. up is the word while. He didn't love us after or before. He loved us during our sin. That means when you was over there doing what you was doing, he was loving you. When you was making the mistakes you were making, let me come down to the road because y'all looking at me funny. When you was smoking all that you was smoking, he was loving you. When you were drinking all you were drinking, when you were sleeping with borrowing somebody else's husband, he was loving you. When you were test driving somebody else's wife, he was loving you. And I ain't gonna lie to you. Keep coming. When you were lying and backbiting and cheating and conniving, he was still loving you. He didn't wait till after you repented. He loved you while you were doing it. Everybody said, wow, you were yet. Too many of us got an after sin praise. But you ought to praise God for loving you while you were doing it. He said, while you were yet sinners, I love you. And Christ died for you. So he sets up what the blood covers for us. And so Paul wants us to understand how the blood covers us. And the first thing he wants us to see is that the blood justified us. Church, say justified. Justified. Look at verse 9. Verse 9 says, we are now justified by his blood. That word justified is a legal term. It means to declare one righteous. It means that they are not righteous, but I'm going to make them righteous by what I said, just because I said so. It means to make one righteous. But there's another definition that actually messed me up. It means forensic righteous. I said, what? Forensic righteousness. See, when forensics happen, that means they do some investigation and they go into start looking at stuff that can prove guilt or innocence. Evidence. And so when you use forensics, it takes DNA, like blood, to declare you righteous. And what God wants you to understand is that in order to make you righteous, he knew the devil was going to do a forensic test on your righteousness and have to find some bad blood. But when he does the forensic test, he don't find your bad blood, he finds his blood. Justified from what? From sin? Justified. Yes, even that sin. There are three aspects to sin. There is the practice of sin. There is the penalty of sin. And then there is the presence of sin. The presence of sin is the most dangerous one because it don't really do nothing. It's just there. That's why Paul said, every time I try to do good, evil is always present. You know what that means? Present. Sin it's just in the room with you. It ain't doing nothing. But the very presence of the opportunity of your favorite sin will cause you. This is why some sins you ain't got to worry about because that ain't you. But some sins just run. Stop being in the presence. That's why the Bible says abstain from all appearances. There's some stuff I ain't gonna be able to go there to see. If I go over there, I'm gonna fall. Some people you can't let at your house because they might bring the presence. Some folks you just can't hang out with because they might bring the presence. And then they bring the PRESENCE. It usually comes with ungodly PRESENTS. They bring presence with their presence. happens, whoever committed it, gotta die. That's the court. So we sinned, we messed up. The prosecutor, would you say, sees us in the courtroom, and he gets our situation, our sin, and plays it on the big screen. Let me pause right there. Man, what would y'all do if they played all of your stuff? I mean, all of my stuff? All of my stuff. No. I ain't talking about the stuff people found out about. I'm talking about the stuff nobody knew about. All of your stuff. Oh, that's it. Man, it'd be a stampede about you. And when they got to Jackson, I knew that's not too far from Johnson, and I'll be done unplugged everybody. And look at it. And then everybody last name Johnson, I hurry up and unplug it. Yeah, and if your name is Anderson, I mean, look, so Satan knew what they did. He said, Lord, he said, God, you said the wages of sin is death. And because of that, they gotta die. And now, he said, you said it, they get the death penalty. And there's the proof. I just showed it to you. Which lets me know something, that the devil will help you sin and go sketch on you. Listen, man, he'll dry sketch too. And so, what I want you to think, so he does this, he says, and so God says, well, defendant, please rise. Did you do it? I mean, you can't say no, because you already swore you wouldn't lie, and you in court, and it's the evidence is there, and so you can't do nothing, throw yourself at the mercy of the court. And so God says, well, bam, death penalty, you gotta die, go kill him. And Satan gets ready, the baby takes you out to go pay your penalty, to be killed, and Jesus says, hold up! I already died. I already paid the price. Paid in full. And then if we're not careful, we'll think that we got free. And God says, hold up. I'm going to let you out on community service, which is your ability to serve in church, serve in ministry, serve your community. When you're supposed to get the death penalty, and you are let out on community service, you ought to praise God. Now, there are some denominations that want us to believe that you can lose your salvation. They want you to believe that, wait a minute, you can't just get saved and live any kind of way. And that's what's wrong with these Baptist Christian folk. They think that once you get saved, you can't lose your salvation and because you can't live any kind of way. And they use that. They use this verse right here. Go to Romans chapter 5. Go Romans 6 verse 15. And I'm going to show you what verse 13 is in Romans 6 and 15. And it says, what then? Shall we sin because we are not under the law, but under grace? God forbid. They say just because you got saved does not mean you can run around here and do whatever you want to do. And your sin will cause you to lose your salvation. That's what they want you to believe now. And they believe we can lose our salvation if we don't obey the laws. But then go to Galatians chapter 2, verse 16. Because see, I believe my church needs to understand correct doctrine concerning Christianity. And I don't want you to think I made it up. Because some folks will just give you their opinion without backing it up with scripture. But that ain't the way I'm set up. So go to Galatians chapter 2, verse 16. And it reads like this. Now they want you to obey the law. But this verse says, knowing that a man is not justified, what they word again, by the works of the law, but by the faith of Jesus Christ. Even we have believed in Jesus Christ, that we might be justified by the faith of Christ, and not by the works of the law. For by the works of the law shall no flesh be justified. Now, I didn't make it up. That's in the Bible. So that begs the question, well, Pastor, if they're saying I can't live any kind of way to be saved, but they're also saying, but the verse you just gave me says that I can't, no law can justify me by grace. So what is that? So can I lose it or not? The answer is found in 2 Corinthians 5, verse 17. And don't worry, I'll just quote it for you. If any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. All things are passed away, and behold, all things become new. Now, what I mean by that is this. If you die and go to hell, it is not because you used to be saved, it is because you never were in the first place. What do I mean by that? That verse I just read you proves that. He says, if any man, if you got saved, then old things ought to start passing away and new things ought to start happening. So I have a problem. What I'm saying to you is that I have a problem with those who did get saved and still living any kind of way. If you live in any kind of way, chances are you ain't got saved. Let me put it another way. If you ain't changing, chances are you ain't gonna change. See, if you can be saved, accept Christ as Lord and Savior, and still live any kind of way, you might not have got saved, baby. You might have confessed with your mouth, but that don't mean you actually believe in your heart. And so what we must understand is that you can't live any kind of way and call yourself a believer. Because there is nowhere in Scripture where anybody came in contact with Jesus and left the same way they left. So did I clear that up for you? Because I want to make sure we understand this. You can't lose something you never had. Now, he says we're justified, we're sanctified, and we're rectified. I ain't got time to get with all that. I wish I didn't spend so much time on the first one, but I got to finish it. I'm trying to get y'all right. So look at verse 10. Verse 10 says, we shall be saved by his life. That makes us sanctified. Because we are justified, we can now be sanctified. That word sanctified means to be set apart. It means saved for later or greater use. When God sanctifies you, he sets you apart for greater use and later use. That's why he saved us. Satan used you, but God has a greater use for you. See, you think, what folks kill me? When they were in the world, they were faithful. They did the world the best way they could. Oh yeah, when you was out there bad, oh you dressed right. Didn't nobody have to tell you to show up. They didn't have to tell you to say nothing. They didn't have to tell you to dance. But now you get saved, and all of a sudden, you can't find time, clothes. We got all these excuses. So it bothers me that you can live for the devil and the best way you can, but Let me check my schedule. Why we had the church at watch night service? That's too late, but you was closing. With no problem. If somebody else's husband calls you at 12 o'clock, you ain't got no problem either. God saved us from wrath, the penalty of sin, which is why he says in verse 9, he says that he saved us from the wrath through him. That wrath meaning hell. That he saved us by his life we were saved. His life in exchange for our life. God gave his life to you so you can give your life to him. We always stop at God giving his life to us, but it is always in exchange for you giving yours back to him. So, why? Because we were enemies of God due to our sin. Wait a minute. It's one thing for God to call me a sinner, but it's another thing for God to call me his enemy. Because some folks we can be enemies with, but then I don't know if you want to be enemies to the God that creates hell. I don't know if you want to be enemies with the one that can flood the entire earth. I don't know if you want to be enemies with the God that burned a man and his family just for stealing out of church. I don't know if you want to be enemies, with that God. But sin made us an enemy. So much that God had to repent. What? Pastor, wait a minute now. God repented? Pastor, do you know what repent means? That means repent means to regret and turn around from something you did. Pastor, wait a minute, I'm about to say God don't sin. Look at Genesis chapter 6. Look at Genesis chapter 6. Look at Genesis chapter 6. If you have trouble finding it, come to Sunday school, because that's the first book of the Bible. You ain't got no business being lost in Genesis. Look at Genesis chapter 6. Genesis chapter 6, now look at verse 6. We find the only time God ever had a regret. And it repented the Lord that he made man on the earth. And it grieved him. God repented when he made you. The only regret God has is creating you. Because you became his enemy the moment you sin. We so worried about what we do with other people. Worried about upsetting people. But you really ought to be concerned about how you make God. And he said we were his enemy. The death of his son reconciled us. Reconcile means to change or to exchange, to settle, to reestablish peace. And the last thing is he rectified us. Look at verse 11. Look at verse 11. We now have received the atonement. Sanctified restores fellowship, while rectified restores relationship. So if I'm sanctified, it means I can be in the same place with him. But if I'm rectified, it means I can have relationships with him. If you're not rectified with God, you can't talk to him. You can't pray to him. But atonement only mentioned here in the New Testament. That word, he says, we have now received the atonement. That word atonement is mentioned only one time in the New Testament and in this verse. Everywhere else it's mentioned is in the Old Testament. And he says atonement, that word atonement means making at one. It means to make one. It means at one meant with God. Atonement at one meant with God. It is a relationship with him. We can now be one with him again. We used to be one with him. But when we sinned, we lost that. In other words, God broke up with you because you cheated on him. That's it. When you sinned, you cheated on him. So what ends up happening is the relationship was broken. God said, I don't do you no more. Walked away from you. But the blood covered that. Now we can be one again. Now God desires you again. Now God desires you again. So this time, bring your robe in. So this time, when you put your robe on. It's not that you hide something, but it's the fact that God can see me for who He called me to be. He can see me for who He called me to be now. Because I've been reconciled. I've been made right with Him. I don't hide behind my cause. I really serve from my guilt. And you got to be careful with people who want you to believe they're holier than thou. I don't serve as pastor because I have arrived or because I don't fail. I serve as pastor because I have failed, and because I have sinned, and because I have messed up. But let me say this to you. You can't trust everybody with your sins. You can't tell everybody what you've done. Which is why some folks don't come to church. Because when they come, church folk talk about them, talk them down, mistreat them. And so they're trying to figure out, if I'm going to be treated this bad, I might as well stay where I was. And that's all I want you to understand today, is that no matter what you've done, the blood already covered